Okay, good morning. Welcome to Glasgow. Welcome to the third soft tissue modeling workshop. And so this workshop is funded by the EPSRC through the SofTMech, which is one of the 5 Center of Mathematics for Healthcare.
A lot of our body is made up of soft tissue, and it's very useful to understand how soft tissues function in order to understand how our bodies function.
Well, with soft tissue modeling, we really may better understand in the future how soft tissues in a hierarchical sense work and how they function and how the structure influences the function.
When soft tissue becomes diseased and people get disease, then understanding how the disease occurs and spreads, you can then attempt to treat it.
It's very important to help ultimately in the clinics. We want to do the modelling to try and understand the effects of disease on the mechanical properties of the tissues.
This particular collaboration is marvellous because it genuinely brings together clinicians who are actually working day to day with cancer and mathematicians who are experts in the nuts and bolts of modelling, and all stations in between, like me, people who use microscopes and people who understand biology as well.
In a world or in a field or in a meeting such as this, where everybody can talk to each other from different aspects in terms of expertise, one really hopes that this multidisciplinarity could help in terms of advancing the field, so that ultimately the modelling that is done on the drawing board, if you like, using mathematical models or bioengineering approaches, could actually be used in a very practical way in the clinic.
Mathematics is the best language we have to understand nature, is to manage to describe the behavior of tissue in mathematical terms. This is what we try to do. The problem is that we end up with very complicated equations which, well, I'm not sure we are able to solve at the time.
One of the challenges is that we don't have enough detailed data about the mechanical properties at the different levels, from the nanoscale through to the microscale, through to the tissue scale and the organ scale. Particularly at the lower scales, we don't have enough data, and we need to be able to do experiments that elicit the data that we need to inform the modelling.
We want to understand how aneurysms initiate, evolve, and rupture. Here, mathematical modeling of tissue is also very important, because the mathematical predictions can only be as good as the models we use.
It would be very interesting to couple these different scales from the protein level to the level on the cell and to the organ level, and finally to understand what is the interaction between these levels.
Soft tissue has probably much more complicated structure than any of the engineering materials we are familiar with. It involves multiple scales, multiple constituents, and also it is meant to process biological signal. So the in vivo behavior of tissue can be very different from the extra vivo behavior.
The more meetings we have, the more we can understand how other people think. And we all get ideas from one from another. So I already had a few questions during the lunchtime, but people got interested in what I talked about and tried to find out if they can apply this in their own problems and in the past, and still, perhaps today and tomorrow, I will get ideas which I may apply in my kind of work.
Here there are medical doctors, but there are also engineers, there are mathematicians, chemists, and I think this is the way to go, because many problems and unsolved problems are very complex and cannot be solved by one discipline. So these disciplines have to come together and discuss how this problem can be approached. Well, it's very enjoyable because there are professors, there are young researchers, and there are students who are actually sitting in this room and talking about science. That's good.